I'm Fox, any pronouns, and you know what we're doing here by now, so let's hop right into Treehouse of Horror 11. This was the first episode of Season 12, airing the first day of November 2000, the day after Halloween. This is going to be a reoccurring theme. The opening is a parody of the Munsters, which is pretty cute, and the twist did get a chuckle from me. Solid start. Next is Segment 1, Ghost Dad, which is blatantly a play on Ghost Dad, a Bill Cosby movie that Wikipedia tells me is about a dad dying and doing ghost stuff. I don't know, I skimmed it, I don't care. What matters is The Simpsons. A horoscope says Marge's husband is going to die today, and since for some reason she's still with this moldy tub of butter, that means Homer's life is in danger. He goes through the day with several near misses.
That horoscope was baloney. Nothing happened except for the pickaxe in my head, the rattlesnake bite, and the testicle thing.
All the way until dinner, where he chokes on broccoli. Because this is a very middle-America, liberal-leaning Christian show, Homer ends up in heaven. Of course he's denied because have you met the guy? Unless he can do one good deed in 24 hours. He's thrown back to Earth as a ghost, where he blunders around messing up and getting messed up. There's only 1 minute left, and by pure happenstance, he saves the life of a baby. Only St. Peter wasn't looking, so he gets sent to hell. Ah, bureaucracy. I'll be honest, I could not remember what happened during this episode at all after watching it. It's not memorable, but at least there are a good few chuckles here and there. Our middle segment is Scary Tales Can Come True, a fairy tale parody. The Simpsons live in a rotting pumpkin, and Homer lost his job as the town oaf. Stand-up father he is, Homer vows.
Don't worry. No child will ever starve in my home.
So he tosses them into the woods.
Face it, they're not great parents.
There are plenty of dangers in the woods. Dangers that don't matter because Lisa has a book that's telling them everything they need to stay safe, negating any tension the audience might have who are familiar with these tales. Cool. Stuff happens, and then for no good reason they ignore the book and are stuck in a witch's candy hut, a la Hansel and Gretel. Homer stumbles upon them, gets zapped into a silly amalgamation of different things and animals, ends up shoving her into the oven to cook her alive. Happy ending all around. I think I hate this one. It's so bland. There are a couple chuckles, but at the end of the day, it's just not worth watching. It doesn't offer any real creative look at fairy tales. It offers no atmosphere or especially fun visuals. It's not even very Halloween-y or spooky. It's just a time filler. Our last segment of the special is Night of the Dolphin. A play on the title, The Day of the Dolphin, a sci-fi thriller based on a French novel which translates to a sentient animal. The family goes to an obvious SeaWorld allegory. Lisa, ever empathetic, feels so bad for a dolphin there named Snorky and helps him to freedom. The sweet marine mammal joins his own kind, where we learn that he's king of the dolphins, and plots to harm humanity for their crimes. It starts with murder, and gives us this adorable shot of Snorky wearing the sea captain's hat. The dolphins come onto shore and attack Springfield. The town goes down pretty easily, and Snorky holds a speech where he banishes all humans to the sea. Homer rallies the town to fight back. They end up in the ocean. Then we get a small cameo of Kang and Kodos complaining that they were left out of this year's Halloween special. This was a fun one with some great kills and real laughs. Better than the other two by leagues, especially since it at least has horror elements. When thinking about the best Treehouse of Horror segments, it's never the first to my mind, but I understand why a lot of people think of it favorably. Apparently, this episode as a whole has gotten pretty good ratings, and I do not understand that. It's got a solid 7.6 on IMDb, which feels way too high. Then on Rotten Tomatoes, there's no actual scoring, but there's this comment. There's not a dud in the bunch, and if this had aired during the show's first 8 years, people would remember it as a classic. And I sincerely want someone to explain this to me. I did not undertake this task wanting to hate anything after the classic era of Simpsons, especially because when this particular year aired, I was still a kid. I was still watching and loving the show. But this is so far the worst Treehouse of Horror as a whole. The final segment was pretty fun, and I get why people remember this one fondly. But no one remembers the other two because there's no substance. You can't be a classic if no one can remember you. I don't want to talk about this episode anymore. I guess it's an unpopular opinion, but it just wasn't very good. And certainly not memorable. And certainly not horror or Halloween related. There doesn't even feel like there's much creativity, especially in the first two segments. I read positive reviews of this year's special, and I feel like I'm going mad. Which I am. Thanks for joining my lucid screaming.